All right, we're here in an emergency hearing in the Cineworld Group case. It's 22-90168. If you wish to speak at today's hearing, please come forward and identify yourself at the podium or press 5* on the phone if you wish to speak.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ashley Harper of Hunt & Andrews Kurth on behalf of Frank Aguilar and Cynthia Aguilar, the personal injury plaintiffs in the underlying district court action.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Theodore Heckel, Weil Gottschall, co-counsel to the Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
From 917-912-1937.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alex E. Dean with Brooklyn and Ellis on behalf of the debtor.
Good afternoon. Any announcements to make, or do we just need to proceed with the hearing?
No announcements of the debtor, Your Honor.
All right.
Great. Before we get started, can Your Honor hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am. Can hear you fine.
Great. The debtor first want to thank Your Honor for taking the time to schedule this hearing on an emergency basis. Your Honor, the first and only item on the agenda today is the debtor's emergency motion is to extend the automatic stay to one of the debtor's landlords, which is filed at docket number 1270. If it's okay with Your Honor, I'd like to proceed by very briefly touching on the facts underlying the district court action and quickly segue into the debtor's argument. I understand that other parties and interests may wish to be heard, and I'm happy to be the court at that time.
So, if the bottom line with Schindler is the one that is liable here?
No, Your Honor, it's the landlord AAP House Quarry LLC. That is what the indemnity requirement is with respect.
No, but you indemnify the landlord and Schindler indemnifies you. So is the reality of all of this, is it that the Aguilars are going to be collecting whatever money they collect from Schindler? Or am I missing how the flow of funds will work?
It's a debtor's position that because the contractual obligation arises under a lease, if the landlord has a claim against the debtor's estate for that judgment, that would be a pure cost. The debtor would be forced to pay in full should they choose to dispute that lease.
But then you look to Schindler, right? Because Schindler's indemnified you.
And Schindler actually filed a motion in the court, and I do believe someone Schindler should be on today, asking for an administrative stay since the case has been stayed out against legal in that underlying district court action.
Yeah, no, I need to answer my question. In the end, if the Aguilars win, whoever they win against at some point, doesn't the money come from Schindler?
Yeah, that is ultimately true, yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, are the Aguilars, if we don't extend the stay and just let things proceed, willing to limit their recovery to Schindler? Or the Aguilars want to bring in the landlord or the debtor for some reason? Or can the Aguilars look to Schindler and then we're done? What, am I missing part of the problem here? Go ahead, Ms. Harper.
No, Your Honor. That would be okay from the debtor's perspective.
Ashley Harper, for the record, Your Honor. So I would need to talk to my client about who they're going to seek ultimate recovery from, but that was the point that Your Honor is raising is something I was going to raise, which is an admission within the debtor's emergency motion saying that paragraph 16 and docket 1270, where they say that the debtor defendant's tender of the claim. So Schindler has accepted the debtor defendant's tender of the claim and has undertaken defense of the claim.
The problem is if you sue the landlord and then the landlord comes, I mean, it is a mess. And the mess gets eliminated, frankly, if your client looks to Schindler. If your client doesn't want to look to Schindler, I understand that, and then we can just proceed with determining whether the stay ought to apply or not. But it looks like a fairly elegant solution that doesn't do any injury given the magnitude of your client's claims, which are large but not compared to Schindler, and not stay anything and just look to Schindler. But maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe, and I should, for background, let Your Honor know that I was engaged on Friday, and so I'm getting up to speed with this emergency motion filed yesterday, and here trying to understand those open issues with respect to looking to Schindler. I wouldn't have that answer for you right now standing here, but could make a call on that to find out more information. I think that as an initial matter, what we're here today for is, there's a deposition of a landlord corporate rep that's scheduled for Thursday. And, the debtors have the evidentiary burden to show that the stay should extend to the non-debtors and that depo shouldn't go forward, and that ultimately the litigation shouldn't go forward. The stay should apply to them. So I think that...
And they may win that. I'm not saying they're not going to win that. I'm saying I don't see much reason to take this piecemeal and say, primary liabilities here, secondary liabilities here, tertiary liabilities here. When you collapse everything, I would like to be able to look at this that way. I don't want to rush you. How long do y'all all need to talk to your clients to see if that works? And, if that means we come back in the morning, we come back in the morning. If we come back this afternoon, we come back this afternoon. I'm not at all convinced that the debtors aren't going to win today. I think they make a tolerable case for it. You can tell that I'm also thought through what I think the end result probably ought to be. But I'm not going to make your client do that. The consequence of your client doesn't do that. Maybe, and I'm not saying it is, that the debtors will win. I'm prepared to hold the hearing. I think there's a better solution. That's where I am.
Okay. May I have a break to see if I can get there's counsel in the underlying district court action that we're working with.
I'll give you a break, or we'll come back in a couple hours. You tell me what you want to do. You're being dragged in on an emergency, so I'll let you control that.
That sounds... I don't want to take up your honor's afternoon, but I think that if I could just have a brief break and...
Why don't we take a 10-minute break, and then you come back and you tell me how long you really need. Maybe you'll have an answer in 10 minutes. Maybe you're going to want 30. Maybe you're going to want overnight. Tell me what you want.
Right.
I am going to give them an emergency evidentiary hearing on the time frame that they need it, but I want to try and see if we can get an orderly resolution in the meantime. So can we just come back at 2:15 and you can give me a report on how much time you need, and I'm going to give you what you need.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody have any problem with that? Okay, we'll see you all at 2:15. Thank you.